Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my second Halloween look. This look is a scarecrow, but it has a twist. The scarecrow will have a sunflower over one eye, so if you are interested, keep on watching. So step one is to prime your face. Some people will skip this step, but I like to put a primer on when I'm doing Halloween makeup for most of the time, just because it helps the makeup sit on it better, and because you are putting products that you normally wouldn't, it keeps your face hydrated underneath all of that makeup. So I'm going to be using two different kinds today. I'm going to be using 4th Ray Beauty the Watermelon Face Milk, and then I'm also going to be using the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. So first I'm going to use the Watermelon Face Milk, and you're supposed to do 2 to 3 drops. I usually do 3, and then I warm it up in my hands, and then I pat it into my face like this. And then I always just rub a little bit down the leftover onto my neck. Then I go ahead and use the other one, and this one I don't put all over my face. I just put it underneath my eyes. So when I get this product, I only use a tiny little bit, and then I just rub it underneath my eyes like this. So after you prime your face, the next step in the process is to block out the eyebrow that you are going to be putting the sunflower over. This just helps the makeup to sit better and your eyebrow not to be in the way of the actual look. It just looks better when you block out your eyebrow. So when you block out your eyebrow, that means you are basically erasing it and making it look like you have no eyebrow at all. So the first step is to take a glue stick. I use this one, the Elmer's gel glue. This is the only one I have on hand. A lot of people have said the purple glue works the best, but this one works fine too. So you're going to take the glue and you're going to run it through your eyebrow. So basically I like to run it through this way, and then I go back this way, and then I just continue to coat my eyebrow. After you put the glue in your eyebrow, you're going to pull the eyebrow hairs up like so. You're just going to keep pulling them upward and out. This is going to help when you add setting powder on top for them to stay in place. We're just going to continue to pull them up like so. So after you pull your eyebrow up with the spoolie, you are going to take the glue stick the second time and you are going to run some more glue through just to ensure that they are set in place. So you're just going to take your glue stick and run it through again. You can even run it through again like this and then just pull it up. When it gets caked like that, where it's coming off your skin, just pull those parts off and then just continue to pull the spoolie through. After you've got it exactly where you want it, you are going to add setting powder to set it all in place. I like to use the Coty Airspun translucent powder. You're just going to get it on a beauty blender and really pack it on there. You are going to put a lot of this, and it's going to look crazy at first, but it will look better when you're done. So you're basically just going to get a bunch of setting powder and keep adding it to the eyebrow. After you add the first couple of layers of the translucent powder, I like to take a concealer and go over it and set it again. So the concealer I'm using is the Instant Age Rewind concealer, and you're basically just going to go over your eyebrow in that spot, and it's not going to completely cover it, but I just like to do this step just to try and cover it as much as possible. So really layer it on. I'm going to add some more. I am then going to press that in and just try to blend it out a little bit. And at this point, while you have the concealer like this, even if it's in lines and it's not super even, while it is still wet and not like matte to your face, you're going to want to add some more of that translucent powder on top. And this just helps to set that concealer as well as continue to block the color out of where your eyebrow is at. So now that I have my eyebrow exactly how I want it, I'm going to go ahead and do my foundation on the rest of my face. I'm using the Maybelline Matte and Poreless Fit Me foundation. This is for normal to oily skin, and I'm wearing the shade 118. And then I use a foundation brush. It's just flat. My hand, and I'm going to just apply it that way today. Normally I put little dots on my face, but I'm just going to apply it this way today. Now that I have my foundation on, I'm going to go ahead and dip into my powder to just set all over the face. This is just a regular powder. This does have pigment to it. I wear the shade Light Ivory, and it's the True Match Mineral kind. And I just pat that into my skin. Even over top of that eyebrow that we blocked out, you can still add the powder on top of that. Now I'm going to add bronzer to my face. I'm using the Butter Collection palette from Physicians Formula, and I'm going to use this brown shade up here. This is in light to medium, but I just grab a little bit of it on this kind of a brush, and I also tap my brush on like my palette or whatever I'm using just to get any excess off. And then I just apply my bronzer like I would with contour, but I just go at a bigger area than if I was doing contour, so it's not so precise. But I just add that to both sides, and I like to use a lot. I'm now going to add blush. This is the blush I'm using. It's the Milani Rose Powder Blush in the shade Romantic Rose. I'm now going to dip into highlight, but I'm only going to do this side of my face because when I make my sunflower on this side, it's going to cover pretty much in the area of the highlight. It may even cover where some of this blush is, but I did want to at least have some blush around this area, so I went ahead and did it. But we're just going to do highlight on one side, and you can do the sunflower on whatever side you want. I just chose this side. I'm again taking the Butter palette, and I'm using this shade right here in Full Moon. I'm just going to apply that right here. Normally I would also do highlight on my nose, but part of the Scarecrow is going to be on my nose, so I'm not going to today. Now that we have the face part of the makeup done, I'm going to show you how to do the eye part. I'm going to conceal my eyes first. I'm going back in with the Instant Age Rewind, and I'm going to set both eyes. So I'm just going to put a little bit on both sides, and then I use a beauty blender to blend that out. I just use the end part, and I blend that out. After I blend that out, I go back into that setting powder and I just add on to the top of it. This just helps set the concealer right away so it doesn't crease any when you put your eyeshadow on top. Some people don't conceal their eyes at all, but I've found this helps the color stay longer on my eyes, and it also helps it be more vibrant. I'm now going to dive right into the palette. I'm using the Dream Street Kathleen Lights and ColourPop palette. I'm taking the shade Elfish down at the bottom right here. and I'm going to be blowing that out on the outside edges of my eyes. You don't want to pick up a lot of this at the beginning, you want to build it. So you're just going to start on this outer edge, and it goes on really dark, so you have to be careful how much you add at first, and then you're just going to do swiping motions across and circular motions to help blend that out. Now that I have both eyes done, I went ahead and finished the one eye that I was working on and did the other eye off camera to save time. But now that I'm finished with this part of the look, now it's time to add the glitter to your eyelid. You can use any kind of glitter that you want. You can use white glitter, gold glitter, different colors. I'm choosing to use the glitter from the Spicy Mommy palette from ColourPop, and it is down in this pan. It is this shade right here. It's kind of a gold shade. The name of it is Renegade. And this kind of glitter you have to be really careful with because it is chunkier, so it can hurt your eye, like if you get it in your eye. So be very careful. You can apply this several different ways. You can use your fingertips. You can use a brush. I'm going to use my fingertips. So I'm just going to get it on my finger, and I always blow on my finger because it gets the excess off so it doesn't fall all over your face. So you are just going to close your eye and you are going to tap. I do mine in a tapping motion rather than a sweeping motion. There are some times when I'll tap, but with a glitter like this, I find that it applies better if you tap it on. Now that I've finished my eyelids with the glitter, I went ahead and did the other eye off camera again. I'm going to do the bottom waterline with the same dark brown color, and I'm just using my eyeliner brush, and you're just going to take that underneath there, and you can do this as dark or as light as you would like it. Now that I've gotten both of my eyes done, I've got the waterline and everything done, I'm going to start drawing an outline for my petals. I'm going to start here in the middle and then work my way around. I'm going to be using a small slanted brush, and I'm going to be taking this brown shade right here. It's called Seashell Hunting. See if you can see it. It's in the Tropical palette. I'll have all of the things that I'm using linked down in the description below. But you're just going to take a brown shade, or you could take a black shade, any shade that you'd like the outline of your sunflower to be. And I'm going to go ahead and get a mirror so that I can see what I'm doing up close. And then you're going to start at the middle, or you can start at the bottom, or anywhere you would like. And you are going to take that shade and you're going to just start drawing out the petals. So I'm going to start down here. I'm going to kind of loop it up and then come back down. Now that I have the outline for my sunflower done, I'm going to start adding color in. You can do this several different ways. You can use a orange and yellow face paint, but I'm going to be using eyeshadow. This just means I'm going to have to build up the color some more, but I'm going to be taking the orange shade from the Orange You Glide palette. It looks like this. And I'm going to be taking the shade Mimosa Mommy. It's down here at the bottom. I'm going to be using I'm actually using a paintbrush, but you can use a small eyeshadow brush, but it just looks like this And I'm going to grab the color, tap it off, and then this color is going to be at the bottom, so you're going to start at the bottom of your petal and you're going to work up about halfway, because then at the other half the yellow is going to be, so you're just going to work your way halfway up. You could even do a little bit more than halfway, but you don't want to go much higher than that. So you just want to start packing that color. Now that I have the orange shade finish, I'm going to add the yellow. I'm going to be using the Honey palette from ColourPop, and I'm going to be using the shade Sweet Spot, which is right up here at the top. It's a bright yellow, and that's going to go from where your orange shade ends up to the top of the petal. I finished with the yellow, but as I was adding those colors, the outline on my petals has faded some, so I'm going to real quickly off camera go back over them. At this point, you can go back over with that brown shade that you went in with, or you can grab a black face paint or a black eyeliner and go over it with that and just make it darker. I'm going to stick with doing it brown. So when I come back, I'll be finished with that. I've zoomed in closer for this part. I've now gone back over with the brown, finished the outline, and I've started the next part. I am adding a black little line into the sunflower. On each petal it will be in the middle, and you just make a little curve line. I'm using a black eyeliner. I'm using the Curvitude liner, so the end is curved like this, if you can see it. There we go. It's curved like this, and so I'm just taking that and going in between each little petal. Now that you have the black lines, we are going to take that dark brown color again that you used before, and we are going to go all the way around this area and build it up on the sides of each petal just to define where each petal is at. And you're going to really pack that color. It's going to be almost darker than what's already on your eyelid. You just really want to make it as dark as possible. Now that I've finished the whole sunflower, this is what it looks like. I have the black lines. I've darkened up around my eye. Now we're going to add some leaves. This part, you can add as many leaves as you want. You can just do one, you can do two. I'm going to do a big leaf here, and then I think I'm going to do a smaller one here. For this, I'm going to outline it in black. I'm using the Tropical palette once again, and I'm going to dip into the black shade. I'm going to use that small brush that we used before, and I'm going to use it to outline the leaf. Now that we have a black outline, I'm going to add a darker green. I'm going to use a brush. This brush has some product on it, but it'll be okay. I'm going to use this flat brush like this, and I'm going to dip it into this dark green color. It is called Jungle. And I'm going to fill in the entire thing. Watch not to mess with where your petals are, but you're just going to fill in that whole entire thing with a dark green shade. Now that I have the leaves, I'm going to take that slanted brush again and dip into the black and go over the outlines again, because when you use the green shade it will mess up your line some. So you're just going to go back in with the black and refill in that line. For the next part, you can do this with any product you want. I'm using the black eyeliner again, but you could also use a lighter green face paint, but we are going to make the veins of the leaves. We are now done with the sunflower part, so we are going to do our nose. For the nose, I am going to use a black eyeshadow for a circle around my nose, and then I'm going to fill it in with the glitter that I used on my eyes. So for this step, you would just use whatever color you want. You can use black or brown for this part, and then use whatever glitter you used on your eyelid, or you could use a different glitter. I just think it matches better if you use the same glitter you already used. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. There are only a few more steps now in this makeup tutorial. So the next step is for our lips. I'm going to be using the shade Melanade from ColourPop, the Watermelon collection. It is a darker red, and I'm not going to line my lips. You can line your lips. You can use any kind of lipstick you want. I'm using a matte. You can definitely use a lip gloss too if you want. I'm picking a matte because I am going to be drawing lines over it for the Scarecrow look. So I want a color that will stay put rather than a gloss that will move. It is now time to draw the lines for the Scarecrow mouth. You're going to draw 2 lines on the outer edges of your mouth, and then you're going to draw lines down the middle over top of those lines. And I'm using the Curvitude eyeliner again. You can also use a black face paint. So there's really only one more step left, and that is to put on your mascara. You can use any type of mascara. I already have mascara on for my makeup this morning, so I'm not going to reapply anymore, but just do your regular routine of doing mascara. So this is the final product. You can add any other details you want. You can add the little stitches. You can add anything you want. This is just the final look for me. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you are new, and ring the notification bell to be notified of the next time I upload. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.